What? What? Oh my goodness, that's how we feel. Because welcome to the nighttime at the Nerd Bar, episode 44. What? What? Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're like nearly to 50.
Yeah,
Woo!
what?
That's wild.
What? Yep.
Yes.
That should
But
give you a preview as to how I'll be functioning this evening.
yes, I feel we are bringing you major Monday energy because we both have been traveling. So, but you know what? We are here. We're here to talk about anime, and we're excited that you're here. If you're watching us live, join us in the live chat. And if you're watching later, no worries. Comment down below.
Yes.
And then, yes, I'm Carrie Lane.
And I'm Katie Cullen.
Yes. And
Hi,
we'll
all
be
my
talking.
buddies.
Yes. We're going to be talking Overlord. We got a bunch of news regarding anime. We also have Overwatch. We have an unboxing. We've got a lot to get into. So first, we'll do some things we're excited about. There we are.
I think we need to talk about some of the biggest news that came out of New York Comic Con. And this is what happens when we miss a week of recording. We have 2 weeks of news to talk about. And I'm sure everyone has already heard this, but English dub cast for Chainsaw Man. Y'all. I know they announced this at New York Comic Con. We have Regan Murdoch as Aki, Sarah Weidenheft as Power, Susie Young as Makima, and Ryan Colt Levy as Denji as our protagonist.
Go Ryan,
It is
man.
such a big deal to be in this show at all, I would say. That it's absolutely incredible to be cast in this show because this is going to be the big one. This is the big new show. This is the adaptation that everyone's been waiting for. And it looks really good. I say that as someone who I know for a fact that the content will be something that I personally won't be able to handle. So
yeah, I was
I
gonna say
won't
this
be
looks
watching
a bit
it.
too gory for you.
It is.
Yeah.
But even as someone who's looking at that going, it's not my speed, I won't be able to watch this and enjoy it, I can still look at it and go, that looks really good so far. And it's a big deal to be cast in something so popular. So congratulations to this cast.
I was going to add too, well, congrats to all the cast, but it was a special shout out to Ryan because he was one of our very first guests here on this show. So
first guest, first episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you had never watched that, go back, check that out. It's really fun because he's talking about when he got on My Hero Academia, one of the films for that. So it's like, yay. So we're all excited for Odadem.
And that film is now available on DVD and Blu-ray, I believe. World Heroes Mission.
I was going to say another one of those, speaking of movies available, tying into interviews we've done. Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is now available on Crunchyroll. And in case you missed that, we spoke with some of the voice acting cast for that as well, which you can find here on the Fanversation channel. And I shared it on the Fanversation and my own social media as well. So the other way to go find that.
I was going to say, I think that's the Royal We, because you did that interview.
Yes, the Royal We is a channel.
That's true.
But
that's true.
We have also done the Dragon Ball superhero interview, which in case you missed that, that's also here on the Fanversation channel. And also,
and I don't know if any of you saw that. Hypeland, the fashion brand that we love, has announced that they are going to do a Dragon Ball superhero collection. And that announcement included King Vader. So
yes,
that dropped on Instagram today. So if you're looking for more fun superhero merch, keep an eye out because Hypeland does fun stuff.
We've also interviewed King Vader on this channel.
That's true.
All right. So here we go. Oh, look,
it is once again the channel We.
The We, yes.
The channel
Live chat, Giga Derek, watching from outside my local library. Howdy. Awesome. All about love on the library.
Thank you for watching it outside. If you're not watching with headphones, then thank you for watching outside the library. As someone who spent good amounts of time in the airport and on the subway this weekend and realized real quick that headphones are necessary for a functioning society, thank you for respecting your library patrons and for supporting your local library.
Okay, this is a little bit of a roast, but I'll take it. John Knight says, hi, Katie and Carrie, you're late again, but it's a typical Monday. Yeah, that's our Monday energy here. You know, we will be here.
We call that fashionably late, friends.
Yes.
And also, we were both traveling, and I was in New York for a week. So forget time zones, friends.
I literally got on a plane less than 12 hours ago to come back from Chicago. and I didn't sleep last night. So
Oh
I am
my
here
God.
to talk about
Yeah.
to you all. But we also got Charles in the chat, says Chainsaw Man hype. Woo!
This is correct.
Yes.
This is correct. I'm not even going to be able to watch it, and I am hyped for it. This should
I'm
tell you
excited.
something.
I've seen some initial like trailers stuff, and I'm super excited.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. While we're
Well,
talking about Chainsaw
yeah.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about the Crunchyroll fall lineup, because that's another
Yay!
wonderful thing that they have sent us. Let's talk about the fact that both My Hero Academia Season 6 and Spy Family second act of Season 1 both drop on October 1st. So, like, happy Saturday, guys. Let's go nuts.
Yeah.
That also means that next week's episode of Nighttime at the Nerd Bar, we are going to be covering a season premiere, a season resume, and a season finale as we hit the last episode of Overlord.
That's like an interesting, small, medium,
Trifecta.
large idea. Yeah, that nice combo. I like it.
It's a good little trifecta. It should be very interesting. Yeah. So those, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, those are the big ones, because there are so many big ones
so many more
in this lineup, you guys. Legends of the Galactic Heroes is coming back. Berserk the Golden Age Arc Memorial Edition. There is new Berserk, you guys. Pop Team Epic is getting a second season. All that's on the 1st, by the way.
Also, Azuki-chan wants to hang out. Season 2 comes out on the 1st, and Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch from Mercury on the 2nd.
That looks like, yeah, new Mobile Suit Gundam, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
New Idolish 7, new, again, October 5th, new Mob Psycho 100 season. That's going to be me glued to Crunchyroll like, show me, show me, show me.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can watch me transcending reality on Twitter as I follow along with that, because that's fun. Another Legend of Mana, Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun is getting a season 3. Of course, we mentioned Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man drops on the 11th, so that is your nice spooky mid-October. And if you would like to just cry a lot, To Your Eternity season 2 drops late in October on the 23rd. So if you are someone who is really here for the emotional depth and breadth of an anime, To Your Eternity is very good, and also it will hurt you. So for those of you who are super into that, you are eating well with that show.
Quite
so yeah, it's a hell of a lineup.
Yes. Oh, and then Charles is excited for more Golden Kamui. Yay. I think I read
I was not aware of
some
that.
early manga of that, I think. And then I threw it up there, but Gigaderic says, I'm so hyped for more Gundam.
Yes. Which from Mercury is looking interesting.
And John Knight says, I need to watch Spy Family. Yes, you do. Catch up.
You've got
you got a little bit, and then you'll be ready for all new episodes.
You've got like 5 days to mainline 11 episodes. That's about 2 a night, give it 12 episodes. So it's a little more than 2 a night. You'll want to watch more than that because it is a super fun show. And again, give it the 3 to 5 episode test. See if you like it. I don't think I've talked to anyone who watched Spy Family and went, meh.
Yeah, same. I'm pretty sure everyone's like, yes, I love Spy Family.
Yes, it's ridiculous. It's got action, it's got comedy, it's got found family, it's basically got something for just about everyone. I'm not going to say everyone because there are a few things it doesn't have, and that's fine. Not everything needs to have everything. But yeah,
it's a well done show.
Yes. It's very, very good.
Another quick one of things we're excited about and coming up. If you are in the Los Angeles area, the Animation is Film Festival is coming back. That is a super fun film festival. And even if I assume you love anime if you're here. But, if your friends are into animation, this is a really cool one. So it's going to be even more duration this year because it's the 5th edition. It'll be October 21st through...
I think like the 29th. They're doing a second weekend.
So it's like the one weekend and then one day.
Yes.
There we go. I was like, there we go. October 21st to the 23rd and the 29th. So that will be at the TLC Chinese Theater in Hollywood. So it's on Hollywood Boulevard. Last year they had a lot of props and pieces from Leica Studio, which was really cool to check out. Another plug. Go check out the interviews from that festival on this channel. I need to add a whole bunch more to the description. I'm like, oh,
you really do. Just link the interviews playlist and call it good. Because just like watch everything in there. For me, the big thing for the Animationist Film Festival and the big thing that they put in the press release is that it's opening with Wendell and Wild.
Oh, and that looks fun.
For those of you who have not seen this trailer, hunt the trailer down because the movie is by Jordan Peele of, let's see, Get Out, Us, and Nope fame, as well as Twilight Zone, as well as, Key and Peele. It's Jordan Peele, Mr. Brand New Renaissance of Horror over here. And Henry Selick, and for those who do not recognize the name, he was the director of Nightmare Before Christmas. Tim Burton produced, Henry Selick directed. I believe
the other.
Or I have that backwards. But it's one of those names where people are like, who? And I'm like, Nightmare Before Christmas, you guys. That's that little trivia question that will upend you. Because, I'm pretty sure that Burton was a producer, but Selick directed. So,
the other, you mentioned opening. I'm sorry, I'm just going to jump in, though. On the 29th, this is exciting because there will be the award ceremony and special screening of a film by award-winning director, but they're going to keep it a mystery. So I was like, ooh. So,
well, the last thing I wanted to say is that Wendell and Wild also stars like a black girl. Our main character is as a black teenager. And again, we don't get that much in horror movie. We don't get a lot of good people, and I say this as someone who is super white. We don't get a lot of good representation for people of color, and it's something that, again, Jordan Peele is very good at, and we don't get a lot of horror aimed at a younger crowd with representation with people of color, and that seems to be what we're getting here. It's a family film. It looks like it's going to be aimed a little more at like the teenage crowd.
It feels like a Paranorman.
Yes.
Like
what my roommate would call candy-coated horror.
Yeah, it looks super cool, like a stop-motion animation. Watch the trailer. I'm very excited for this one, too.
Like, I think it's dropping on Netflix when it does drop. I think this is a Netflix production.
30th of, I think that's actually, yep.
But like, it has some amazing pedigree behind it, and it looks really good. Even just the trailer was like, I am here for this. This looks amazing. So very excited for Wendell and Wild. Very excited to see this at the Animationist Film Festival. And of course, they have all sorts of other amazing stuff in here. So if you're in LA, well worth it. Do the thing.
Yes. We also got Charles in the chat mentioned between Netflix tandem event, the Aniplex Online Fest. There was a ton of news that dropped this weekend. Yes, shout out to Aniplex Online. That just happened as well. Sorry, I was like, that meant excited. I'm drinking my warm tea of staying up too late voice.
Yeah, I think that one of the Aniplex announcements is that we're getting a Nier Automata anime, which is wild. And that it is going to be similar to the game, but not quite the same because they wanted to address different things and go in slightly different places. So, Aniplex is not a bad one to do an adaptation of a video game like Nier. Like, I'll take it. I'm interested. Let's go.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a studio that I would trust with that particular adaptation.
Oh yeah. Shall we get into some High Dive?
Yes.
There's a lot of announcements from High Dive, so go
so many announcements from High Dive. Yeah. I
like that. It's one of those. Of course, we like our pillars of the anime community of distribution and such, but it's always nice when there's other ones that keep doing like more, and you're like, yes. Oh, and then also real quick, Charles mentions, Nier Automata anime is in January. Yoko Taro is co-writing the anime too, same studio as SAO's anime. Ooh,
yeah, that's
Aniplex. Yep.
Yeah.
Looks
again, as much as my opinions on SAO are slightly more known if you watch my YouTube channel, they do really good action, really good Sakuga.
Yes.
Like, I would trust this studio to adapt Nier.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. It does look interesting. And I mean, if you've got the guy who does the games on board for the adaptation, let's go. If anyone's going to know their stuff, it's going to be them. So yeah, should be interesting.
All right. So High Dive. Let's go through rapid fire on some of these.
Yes.
Ooh, I just opened up on my. Oh, the poster looks so cool. Urusei Yatsura is so the iconic invader girl LUM to land on High Dive this fall. So based on the best-selling manga, the same name. And I'm just trying to see if there's any other dates.
For those not familiar, Urusei Yatsura was one of the manga created by Rumiko Takahashi of Ranma One Half and Inuyasha fame.
Yep.
So it's had an anime adaptation a few decades ago. It came out as, I believe, Space Invader Lum was what it was called in English. So
Yes,
getting
so
a whole
invader girl.
getting a whole new anime for this is exciting. And then you get to watch it on High Dive.
Premiering fall 2022 simulcast season. So stay tuned
soon.
for that.
Good Lord, the fall season is going to be
we're almost
nuts.
to fall? What? Yes.
No, we're in fall as of like the 22nd.
Oh, I know. Wait, no. What?
It's fall. Even if the weather in Los Angeles doesn't believe it,
it's not. Yes.
It's fall.
All right.
But we have all sorts of High Dive streams. We have Bibliophile Princess, which they sent me that announcement twice in a week, so I'm assuming that they are very excited for Bibliophile Princess.
Charles says, honestly, surprised that High Dive got Urusei Yatsura. Thought that was a Crunchyroll lock for sure. Hyped that High Dive got something so big. Which they also shout out. They have the Made in Abyss new season.
Yeah.
Too.
Like High Dive has some pretty dang good stuff, you guys. It's Crunchyroll may have the most stuff, but they don't have everything. High Dive has a good bit, and their library is well worth checking out. And for those of you who are like, well, what else do they have? I'm like, have you heard me talk about ya boy Kong Ming? Have you heard me talk about ya boy Kong Ming? It's on High Dive. If you haven't seen it, you should. That's one of those, even if you're not into anime, I would recommend that to you. It's a little weird, but it's really good a little weird. Yes.
So
anyway.
The Bibliophile Princess. Yeah.
Yeah, Bibliophile Princess, Akiba Made War. It's the subject line has it MADE, and then the title is MAID, and boy, those are two very different things.
Also, we have Encouragement of Climb Next Summit. I was like, oh, that looks really cute.
We have My Master Has No Tail, which honestly looks really fun. Modern era Kitsune who can't do like a lot of pranking in the way they used to do way back when. So she's learning theater in order to do illusions for the modern world. And that it's not specifically theater, it's a specific art form, Rakugo. That's what it is. So it's just the premise sounds fun. And I feel like that's one of those anime that could really go either way. It could really be great, or it could really just be like a premise and then we're just doing it. And I'm hoping it's really great because of the ones we've listed, Urusei Yatsura and My Master Has No Tail are the ones where I'm like, I'm interested. Talk to me. So yeah.
We got Management of a Novice Alchemist. Looks like some fun fantasy. Heartfelt fantasy anime series based on the light novel of the same name.
Yeah, we've got a lot of fun fantasy stuff on this list.
Ooh,
good
sci-fi
things.
too. We got sci-fi rom-com Love Flops.
That's right. That one's
fun.
Just going through my email and going, and this one, and this one. What have we talked about? What have we not talked about? So High Dive also has a pretty dang solid fall slate with all of these. Like, this looks like a ton of fun.
The Eminence in Shadow. So that is a anime adaptation of the Isekai light novel series, same name. It looks like, based on the picture, I'm like, it gives me, dark fantasy, vampire-y vibes. But
I mean, with a name like Eminence in Shadow.
Yeah. Right? Yes.
Yeah. Good times.
I feel that's it for our High Dive news.
I think it is.
Yes.
I think one more, or
not High Dive, but also switching over, we have Sentai announced that Shinichiro Watanabe's celebrated original music anime Carol and Tuesday is heading to home video from Sentai, which that is an amazing series. It's beautiful, it's heartfelt, it just great soundtrack, and it's a good feel good show, you know, like it does have the drama and elements of like, ooh, exciting stuff going on, but in the end you just feel good. So I highly recommend that show.
I think one other one we need to talk about is G-Kids is releasing Evangelion 3.0 and 1.01 Thrice Upon a Time in US theaters. So if you would like to see some Evangelion on the big screen, you have December 6th, 8th, and 11th to do that. Tickets will be available starting on November 2nd. It is a Fathom event, so you'll be able to do it via fathomevents.com. So mark your calendars for the 2nd, so you can then mark your calendars for early December. And guys, Evangelion on the big screen, just amazing.
It's epic.
Give
you need
it
the
to
big
me.
Screen for that.
Oh yeah. It's perfectly serviceable on the small screen. It's very good on the small screen, but being in a theater with your fellow fans and just seeing all of it up there, this is one of those, if you feel safe going into a theater, and I know not everyone does at this point, and that is 110% valid. Do what you feel is appropriate for your safety. But if you feel safe going into a theater, it's always worth it to see releases like this on the big screen. Promare was worth it. Superhero was worth it. This is going to be worth it. It's always a lot of fun.
I was a pin in that for Promare tie-in at the end when things we've checked out. I got something later that I'll mention.
So put it on the board.
On the board. Yes. All right.
Next to the conspiracies and the Overlord timeline.
So some things we are excited about. We're going to do some news, and stick with us. We're going to get to Overlord. Yes. Don't worry. But like we said, there's been a lot of exciting good news and then some news. We got the tea for you on that. So let's get into the more
news
where it's, not as necessarily things
we're not excited about this. We're not excited about this, and therefore it doesn't fit under that banner. So if you've been watching this show, if you haven't been watching the show, hi, welcome. We love seeing you guys. Welcome to the channel. But if you've been watching the show, you know that I've been very excited for Mob Psycho 100 Season 3. Heck, if you were tuning in 5 minutes ago, I'm very excited for Mob Psycho 100 Season 3. And I have mentioned before that the show has an absolutely phenomenal dub, and that is what I prefer for this show because everyone gives 110%. So about that dub. Kyle McCarley, the voice actor for the titular character, Mob, will not be returning for Season 3. And the reason that he gave is that when he made it very clear that it's not about the money. It's not about having pay rate issues. He made it very clear that he wanted to do the show under a union contract. And when Crunchyroll refused, he said, okay, I'll do it under the normal non-union contract, with the caveat that I want you to meet with SAG-AFTRA and at least have a discussion. And for those unfamiliar, SAG-AFTRA is the Actors and Voice Actors Union. And Crunchyroll refused, so he stepped away. And he made it very clear that that was his reason for stepping away. Crunchyroll has been notoriously at this point unwilling to work with unions or entertain any ideas of unionization. And it's caused a lot of issues. It's a problem. And like we mentioned, Jujutsu Kaisen 0 being available for streaming on Crunchyroll, reportedly, some of the actors who worked on that movie got paid $200, $250 flat for their performances for a movie that grossed, what was it, like $30 million or something crazy?
It was big.
It was big.
I don't know the numbers exact, but it definitely was.
It was big.
No small fry.
And unionization for voice actors also helps protect them when their sessions go extremely long, or they have a lot of them, or if it's one of those sessions where you have to do a lot of screaming, because that can be a massive problem. So
that happens a lot in anime.
Yeah. So Crunchy is recasting the role of Mob, and it's just not a good situation all around. It's really, and again, this is all reportedly. Crunchyroll hasn't said anything about refusing to meet with unions. This is all coming from Kyle. However, Kyle doesn't really have a reason to be dishonest about this. So it's an issue. This is something where voice actors having unions is a good thing. It does not actually push non-union voice actors out. It would help protect them as well. It's one of those, a rising tide raises all boats. One of those lifts all boats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is one of those things where I kind of hate talking about it because it's uncomfortable, but it also really, really needs to be said. And that is, unionization is good, actually, in all industries and all walks of life. Support your unions. At the moment, I'm not sure that there's anything that the cast or SAG-AFTRA or anyone are calling for in terms of the public supporting a unionization movement, but keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out on SAG-AFTRA's Twitter. Keep an eye out on for the Twitters of the voice actors you do follow. Netflix anime, as much as we complain about things being in like Netflix jail, etc., Netflix anime is all union, and they specifically asked for that. I don't know if Netflix asked for that or if they agreed to it, but Netflix is specifically doing all of their anime under union voice actor contracts, and that's a good thing. So support your unions, support unionization. I don't know if there is anything specific that we, the public, can do right now, aside from expressing displeasure that this is a thing that's happening. But Crunchyroll needs to step up, come to the table, and at least have a conversation with SAG-AFTRA. Like, the fact that they won't even meet with them, and that was just the bare bones, is have a meeting, have a singular meeting with them, and that was evidently refused. Like, this is a problem, and we need to be aware of that as people who consume anime for our entertainment and as people who are interested in and excited for this scene. We get all of these wonderful, amazing anime that we love watching and we love discussing, and the performances are incredible. But we also have to understand that Crunchyroll is turning into an anime monopoly, as it had the merger with Funimation, and that it's also owned by Sony, which is in and of itself a very large media conglomerate, and that corporations are not your friends. So anything that they ask us to do to support a unionization movement, we as fans should do, even if it's just tweeting Crunchyroll, tweeting Sony, and saying, hey, you need to support unionization for your voice actors. You need to do things under union contracts. So yeah, union's good, actually.
Agreed. And
that's where we are.
Yeah, it's one of those that just is unfortunate because we obviously care about the people in the industry, that we enjoy their art that they produce. So it's like,
we enjoy the art. And now that, we are both of the walked uphill both ways in the snow to buy a DVD at Media Play or Suncoast that was $30 for 3 episodes of something. Like, we're of a generation that was our experience. And there are people into anime who were of the generation where it's, oh yeah, no, my friend had a VHS with hard-coded, typo-riddled subtitles, and that was how we got our anime. So if you want to hear a little more about that, we interviewed... Yeah, if you want to hear a little more about that, we interviewed Frank Tadaro, actually, and he talked a little bit about that experience and how he got anime. So the fact that streaming is available and that we get a lot of simuldubs, we get a lot of same-day multiple languages, like, this is all a good thing. It's nice to have this available. It's nice to have such easy access. No, this still counts as news.
No, this counts.
Because
I know it's the news, but we're taking it, and then it's going to come back.
But I'm bringing it back around to, it's great that we have these things, but we also need to understand that these are things that are made by corporations that will make decisions that benefit the bottom line instead of the people that help bring these things. We need to be aware of that as fans, and we need to support the individuals, support the workers, support the people who are working for unions to be able to protect themselves from physical injury. So yes, once again, we are back around to unions good, actually.
I only did tangent because it was more like we were going specifics, but yes.
That's fair. That's fair. And I'm going to say it's not just Crunchyroll, like Starbucks. A lot of Starbucks are unionizing. Support those. Things like that. Unions good is very relevant to this conversation when it comes to anime in general and currently right now Mob Psycho. But unions good also applies to retail, services, flights, just everything. Unions good. Unions good.
All right.
Anyway.
Yes. So would you like
Union's good.
Overwatch or unboxing?
Oh, let's do Overwatch. Let's talk about some chaos.
Overwatch League is an anime.
Yeah, and right now it's Excel Saga. Why is that your metric for things being chaotic? I don't know, because I haven't watched Pop Team Epic. First, we need to talk about, and this is information that dropped last week. Overwatch 2 has announced a brand new hero. We're getting a brand new support. Holy cow. Her name is Kiriko. The developers have actually mentioned that she is based on Genji gameplay. And if you watch the lore video, she is very much involved with Genji's and Hanzo's backstories, but she's from a different clan. So she's not completely entrenched in Shimada bullshit like those two are. God bless them. She is a support. She is a very quick skirmishing in and out type of support. She is able to teleport to close by allies, even if that involves going through a wall. So that's fun. She is able to offer. I'm trying to open up this photo. Instead, I'm just going to put my phone really close to my face. She is able to offer brief invulnerability and cleansing of status effects. So discorded, bloodied, etc. She's able to just go, you're better now, let's roll.
That's nice.
And her ult, Kitsune Rush, for those of you going, what about the fox? She's the fox hero that's been teased. Basically summons a Kitsune spirit that charges forward, and everyone that follows in its path, it accelerates their cooldowns. I believe it gives them healing. Yeah. Movement acceleration of movement, attack speed, and cooldown. So basically follow the fox and it gets you ready to fight. So it's going to be a very good engage ultimate for when you are ready to just knock the other team off the point or take the payload or do whatever. So she is going to be an unholy terror. Like until we have a season or two with her and we kind of get this figured out, she is going to be a straight up unholy terror. Because again, she's kind of based on Genji gameplay, that very, very quick in and out, and she can also wall climb. So for people who are really good at that kind of gameplay, she is going to be a terribly competent unholy terror. For people who think they're good at Genji and just aren't, you know who you are. You've had at least one in your game, and in any given quick play game, you've got the Genji main who thinks that they're Kirito and they're not. It's going to be the same idea. Like, oh, she plays like Genji. Oh, it's either going to be amazing or it's going to be really, really rough. And it's going to depend entirely on the skill set and game sense of the player playing her. This is not a support that I'm going to be good at. Just going to put that out there right now. I know where my strengths are and it's not there. That said, we're not going to have her for this season of League. We're going to have her for next season of League. And that's going to be buck wild. So that should be fun. We're not even getting the Contenders litmus test, I don't think. Because Contenders Korea, the finals are streaming this week. So yeah, no, I don't think we're going to be seeing Kiriko before the finals, or they're going to implement her right before the finals start, and it's going to be just completely insane. So who knows? Who knows? I don't know that we have a schedule for that too. We do know that she is releasing with the Battle Pass for Overwatch 2, which is a whole new thing because Overwatch 2 is now going to be free to play. However, there is going to be a Battle Pass in terms of getting extra XP, getting extra skins, etc., etc. Loot boxes are being phased out of Overwatch entirely. Unlockables are going to be part of the Battle Pass. So they're going on a completely different system. A lot of what set Overwatch apart as a game is being tweaked to be more in line with other games. I'm not entirely certain how to feel about this myself because loot boxes, generally speaking, were only cosmetics. There was no pay to win stuff in there. But getting extra XP, getting, I think it's 1.5 for being on the battle pass as opposed to not, and having a hero unlock being part of the battle pass is really weird. Like, I need to see how it plays. I'm not entirely certain that I'm here for this. But this is the decisions that Blizzard is making, so we will figure this out, I guess, and see how it plays. For now, if you really want Kiriko, if you already own Overwatch, you will have Kiriko when Overwatch 2 drops. That is being grandfathered in. She will also be, you'll be able to earn her with the first season battle pass. So, yes, I am excited for a new hero, but I'm also excited to watch people who are better at this than I am play her before I do, because I don't see that going well for my skill set. Just personally, hard stuck in bronze. Not a good place to be a Kiriko main.
It makes sense, though, that you'd want to watch someone who can show you all the possibilities it can do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But also, like, my DPS style is Reaper, which is few shots but heavy hitting and generally speaking right up in people's faces with the ability to teleport and get away if need be. Genji is very light, very quick. Again, it's one of those things where everyone thinks they're good at Genji and you can kind of tell who the actual good at Genji people are and who the quick play Genjis are. It's a very large skill gap. Genji is not an easy hero to master. Super easy to pick up and just swing the blade around. Not easy to master. Yeah. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm good at Genji. I'm not. It's just, we don't front here. I'm not good at that. It's fine. Speaking of people who play this better than I do, and also still chaos, what happened this weekend? This was, for context, like I said, I spent the week in New York City. So I was not watching games, I was watching Broadway shows. We had different priorities while we were out and about. So I would occasionally, while we're sitting on the subway to get to the next destination, pull up the game and see what was going on. So walking back in on Sunday and looking at all the results and watching Sunday's matches was a little bit like that bit in Community where Troy walks back in with pizza and everything's on fire. It's coming back to Overwatch League this weekend was very much Troy with pizza.gif. And the thing is, after looking at that, after watching Sunday's matches and trying to watch some VOD and just trying to figure out what the heck was going on, because usually for a meta, because there's a single tank in Overwatch 2, the meta is kind of based around the tank. Is this, like, last patch was Junker Queen meta? Definitely. And now they've kind of finagled her a little bit. They've tweaked her so she's not so OP anymore. So now the question is, what's the meta? Is it a Winston meta? Is it a Wrecking Ball meta? Because we saw a good amount of Wrecking Ball in Contenders, and I thought that's where we were going. Is it an Orisa meta? Because some players think it's that. Are we back to a Zarya meta? Is it a Diva meta? Do you just want to play Hog for a little bit? Because that sure is what the Gladiators did. Because if anyone's going to pull out Hog, it's going to be a Reiner. So basically, I actually poked Liz Richardson, who is an esports journalist and generally very good at Overwatch League stuff. She's my favorite Overwatch League journalist. She's pretty great. I'm biased, but also she's awesome. And I poked her and said, can you explain this week's meta to me? Because I don't know what's happening and I need to talk about it. And she wrote back, the meta is nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody really knows the meta yet. So the meta is IDK, whatever works. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. Just, it's all insane. Everyone's playing different comps and trying to figure out what's good. A lot of Tracer, good amount of Sombra. Nobody seems to know what support line works here, so we're just doing our best. And it's led to some really, really weird match results. And I think the best that I can give you right now is San Francisco Shock lost twice this weekend, and so did the Shanghai Dragons. The Shanghai Dragons just came off of a tournament win. So the fact that they lost twice, and one of those was in a map 5 to the Guangzhou Charge, who are only just starting to get better at things, is really, really weird. Nothing makes any sense anymore. Boston beat Houston, but then Houston beat San Francisco. Like, how does anything work right now? Nothing makes any sense. It's honestly, it's fun in a weird, does it really matter what I predict? I could put 2 treats down in front of my cat and do the predictions that way. Like, what team are you predicting, Winter? I put a treat down in front of Boston, and I put a treat down in front of Houston, and whichever one she eats first, that's the team that picks. I cannot believe that Boston beat Houston. What happened this weekend? Oh my God. That's a match I haven't watched yet. And then again, Houston turned around and beat the San Francisco Shock. So nothing makes any sense. Everyone's just trying to figure out what the heck they're doing. And we are now in that weird math area where this is the Countdown Cup. This is figuring out who's going to be in the season end tournament, who has their spot in the playoffs, who's getting an opportunity in the play-ins, and who is just completely out of it. And so far, I will admit that I have not looked at who's locked in, and I just disowned Boston. It's honestly not a bad time to be a Boston fan right now. I'm pretty sure they also just beat Florida. So, like, it's chaos when Boston is doing well. That's it's kind of a mean thing to say, but it's true. So it's kind of a wild everything right now, you guys. I had a train of thought and I completely lost it. Yeah, I did not see who is clinched for APAC. However, on the North America side, San Francisco, Dallas, and Gladiators are all going to be in the playoffs, and Houston is in 4th and trying to lock that spot. And the only team that has been straight up eliminated is the Paris Eternal. They started improving way too late to ever be in contention, and then their strength of schedule for this last few weeks is absolutely bananas. They got steamrolled by Dallas, and Dallas didn't even have to try hard. It was it's one of those matches where it didn't tell you anything about either team. It was the gap was so big. There was nothing to it, which is really rough if you're on Paris. Let's be real. So it's a rough year to be a Paris fan, but hopefully that just time and the ability to work together and practice together will be in their favor for next season, because they're not going to be in the tournament this season. That's already clinched. So we're in this weird, like, if you're already clinched, do you coast a little bit? Do you not show off what you can actually do in this new meta so that you have some secrets for the tournament? Or do you still give it your all and still, like, put on a good show, make sure that you get all those maps, all those play for your seed, for your spot, as opposed to playing to get in it all? So the question that we have for some of these top tier teams that aren't doing so hot right now is, are they sandbagging? Which in this case, in this context means, are they playing beneath their level on purpose? Are they just not trying right now because they know they're getting in the tournament and they're saving everything for that? And for me, the answer is depends on the team. I don't think Dallas is sandbagging, but they also didn't have to try super hard, at least for their Paris match this weekend. I don't think San Francisco is sandbagging. I think they're struggling a little bit, because their general strategy, and they've said this, was they want to set Proper, one of their incredibly good DPS mains, up to succeed. Well, if the opposing team can play the meta really well and has also figured out how to stuff Proper, then you're in trouble. You can't just put all your eggs in that basket, even though Proper is distressingly good. So I think San Francisco is actually having trouble. I also think Shanghai is sandbagging. Like, I don't think they're giving it their all right now. I don't think that's where we are. Coming off of a really great tournament to just immediately lose both matches in a weekend, I think they're sandbagging. I think we're going to see a few adjustments when we get there, and I think they're going to be straight up terrifying in the tournament because they're Shanghai. They had their 31 losses and 32 losses and 0 wins season, and they're not going back. They got all the losses out of their system. So yeah, this past weekend was really, really weird, really buck wild. Don't know how anyone's doing. And these next 4 weeks are going to determine who gets into the finals and how it's played. So teams that are clinched may not show all of their cards until they get there. And the finals are going to be in Anaheim, October 4th and 5th. So if you are in the Southern California area and you want to go see some Overwatch League grand finals for this season, Anaheim, October 4th and 5th, the tickets are already on sale. And if you are signed up for the Overwatch League e-newsletter, you have received that little sale code to go. I don't know if I'll be going because I don't know if I have the vacation days for work because it's a Thursday and a Friday. And again, I did sure just spend a week in New York. So that's a big old we'll see for me, but I'm hoping that that will eventually become a yes. I just need to do some math. But yeah, lots of Overwatch League stuff over this past week and a half. Lots of stuff. And a very, very weird weekend of gameplay. Just very weird. Yay.
All right.
Carrie over here just like doing her nails while
I'm like, I'm just gonna, it's
sure,
keeping it on.
She's talking about stuff. Whatever the heck sandbagging is. Sure. Cool. Whereas I'm over here having divisive opinions.
This is why, for our viewers out there, I do appreciate these because then, you know what? I was going to say, too, for anybody who's mainly here for Overlord, thank you for sticking around if you're watching this live. If you're watching it later, I have no problem if we're talking about things and you are like, this is why this is here to help you scrub through.
Monitoring the lower third so you can skip the 20 minutes every week in which Katie loses her mind.
But, it's like fun. I have no problem if I might talk about stuff that y'all watching would be like, but that's okay. We are the amalgamation of a lot of different nerdy things all in this show.
Yeah. We are a variety show.
Yes.
Except instead of tumblers, animal acts, and fire eaters, it's Overwatch League, anime news, and assorted bullshit.
Yes. Let's do your unboxing real quick, and then we'll get to Overlord, which again, thank you everybody for sticking around. And unboxing, which, yay!
Look at how pretty this box is, you guys. Look at how pretty the Sakura box is. Look at this. I love their usual little gold and pink boxes, but just, my God, this is incredible. Now, usually for these unboxings, I have opened up the box before and taken a little look inside, so I kind of know what I'm talking about, and then closed up the box without removing anything, and then brought it to you guys to show you. This box came the day before I left for vacation. I have not looked in it yet. So
I appreciate this real quick. Giga Derek says, it's the Nerd Bar. You get lots of content here. Thank you.
We have a varied menu.
Yes, we have a wide variety of options for y'all out there.
So this is the Kyoto Box, as you can see on here, in collaboration with the Kyoto Chuo Shinkin Bank and Kyoto Prefectural Government. So
interesting.
The special box. It's always in collaboration with someone when we get the really fun looking boxes. So we are going to. Yes. So we're going to open this up, and oh my God, you guys, it's the rabbits on the moon. Look at this. I love these little postcards. They're always so cute. And it looks like the theme for this box is the Kyoto Moon Festival. There's no way to do this without a big old glare on it. But
it's one of those that works so well with it coming like the end of September and like spooky season for us here, which they do celebrate Halloween-y stuff. Which I'm all sorry, shameless little plug of I went in October time back in like 2015-ish, and then
oh my God. Oh,
Chip and
those are
Dale and
so
little pumpkin
cute.
keychains.
Oh my
They have a lot
God,
more
yes.
spoopy Halloweeny stuff, but I loved it. It was so cute. But
I
yes, continue.
have several Pokemon Halloween things. And it's the
Yay!
Pokemon dressed up as other Pokemon because that's what they
Oh,
do.
oh, that's
So
cute.
just a quick little look through the booklet for my
Yeah.
own edification. But it's all snacks known for coming from Kyoto or being produced in Kyoto.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
it's all Moon Festival themed. So, of course, we have
Mm.
little crackers, little biscuits. Look at the flower shape. Look at these
Oh, so
guys.
pretty.
Look how cute. We have assorted rice crackers. I don't know if you can see, but they're a little different
Mm-hmm.
colors in there. You can see the little yellow
Oh.
one up closest to me.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We have candy. Look, it's just candy. It's just Kyoto
Oh,
little wrapped
nice.
candies. They're very cute. In here somewhere we have a nice little plate that has this design on it. The plate has the moon
Oh,
design.
ooh.
That just Of course, it comes with biscuits. It comes with arare. It comes with, you can see this little bun hanging down here in the corner. It's one of those little
Mm-hmm.
pull apart flavored buns. I
Ooh,
love
yummy.
those. I like to eat those with breakfast. There's
Mm-hmm.
all sorts of little cakes and crackers, just all sorts of fun stuff. Because it's the Moon
Yum.
Festival, and that's what we've got. Just, you guys, it all looks so good. It all looks so good. And of course, we have our tea in here because they always, actually, I believe that is a cookie. The tea is hiding in here somewhere. And oh, there's a pudding chilling down here. Guys,
Ooh.
I've told you that I love the jellies that come in here. This is a pudding. It's
Mm-hmm.
also going to go in the fridge because we're getting another heat wave in Los Angeles.
Mm.
So that's going to go in the fridge and be a nice cool snack when it decides to be over 100 degrees again. But yes, I absolutely love everything that comes in these boxes. And like I've mentioned this before, and I continue to mention it because it continues to be true. I love snack boxes. I just love snack boxes. I don't always do a lot of candy all at once. I do enjoy candy, but sometimes, you mainline the entire bag of Skittles and it's too much.
Mm.
Or you get a whole box full of candy
The
and you
sugar
go, I
headaches.
can't go. It's the sugar
Yeah.
headaches. Like, I do enjoy getting all sorts of candy, but I also know that I personally cannot handle a whole box full of candy. And that's why I really, really like Sakura Co. And I really like
Mm.
getting these boxes because the whole idea, as you can see on the box here, is nice to meet you. Let's have tea. So they're meant to be tea service boxes that can be shared. So everything in this box is a tea for two. So you have your large items that come in multiple pieces that can be shared, or you have like the bun I mentioned that can be pulled apart and shared, or if it's cookies that are small and individually wrapped, you get two of them. So there's a
Mm.
lot here that is meant to be shared with two people, two tea bags. So it's that sort of thing. I really love that there's variety, that there is savory and there's sweet. I love that we get tea that's themed with the month's theme every time. Just, I really, really enjoy getting Sakura Co boxes and being able to just eat my way through these snacks and absolutely loving them. So thank you, Sakura Co. I'm really excited for this. These are always so much fun.
Yay. There we go.
Yes,
And then
put things away and hopefully I have boxed this back up correctly so it will actually
that-
close. That's always a risk with these.
yes, I always have trouble too.
And again, once more for the road. Look at this.
There we go. Put it down.
Just look at it. Isn't that beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
That silhouette, the gold and black, just aesthetic. I love it. Anyway, big Monday energy.
Yeah.
A Monday back from vacation, and that's always
Right.
an option.
Alrighty. So we
Alrighty.
have Overlord.
So
I can't
much.
believe that we're getting ready for the finale almost, which is kind of crazy. So
not almost. Finale is next week.
I know.
Technically,
but
finale drops tomorrow because this is a show that updates on Tuesdays. So, yeah.
I think I always watch right before. So I'm like,
yeah.
weekend. Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty. We got 11 and 12.
Mhm.
I thought it was interesting to bring back our Coco doll, one of the 8 fingers, and they're getting ready okay, we're gonna move y'all because it's getting ready for the Capitol to fall, and oh no, it's okay, he's not gonna die. It's kind of like his baptism.
Yeah, he's just
He
gonna
does
get
not know
eaten
what's in
from
the
the
store.
inside out by cockroaches and then have his wounds healed. It's
You know,
fine.
fine. It's fine. Yeah.
We're keeping the family fed.
Yeah. Yes.
Just the casual cruelty the show engages in sometimes is, hey.
Or even Shaltier, she's like, let's move the luggage first. And I thought, I think you're talking about people, but
Yeah.
that could also be things too. But I'm pretty sure you're talking about people.
Yeah, you've got like 1,000 people, so let's take care of that.
Yeah.
You are all slightly more important than the rest of them because you're the ones we
Yes.
interact directly with, but like, meh.
And here's food. You should be fine. Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
Yeah. I think that was one of the forest areas that they built that they had set
Yeah.
up near not Irantel. What's the name of that little village? Carne Village.
Yeah. Then we get back to our fighting, which was exciting to get back to our red mech guy, Azoth. The chain
He's
dragon.
Useless. He's useless.
But he did his cool chain dragon lightning, and I thought it was cool to have Albedo get a chance to fight because we haven't seen her really fight.
Yeah.
So I thought that was super exciting. And
what I really liked about this bit is watching it when you know, because we get the reveal later that it's not Ainz there, it's Pandora's actor, and that this is an information gathering thing.
Yes.
Which makes me wonder just how much of Ainz's capabilities are stored in like the rings and the robes because he sent Pandora's actor in those. So knowing that and then seeing this pre-battle conversation and seeing how Albedo addresses him versus how she normally addresses Ainz, it's like, if it's the first time you're watching it, you're kind of going, all right, this is a little weird. And then knowing it afterwards is like, okay, this is coworkers talking. The boss isn't here. So it's very interesting. It's also interesting to see how Pandora's actor handles things. His ability to analyze the battle, but then also doing the wait, I wasn't done talking. I'm like, this doesn't sound like Ainz. What's happening here?
Yeah, it was one of those things that it sounded weird. Yeah. And I thought it was weird to have Ainz like bow, but he's not somebody that wouldn't throw out a curveball of oddity at times. Yeah. So I didn't think, oh, this can't be him. But I wasn't surprised when we learned, oh, it wasn't him at the battle.
Pandora's actor, yeah.
And it's smart, too, because why would you go there first as like a battle strategy? Yes, send your doppelganger first, scope, and then you show up.
Yeah.
Were you surprised or were you like, oh, yeah, that?
I was more surprised at the wait, listen to what I have to say and getting to his knees. And I'm like, that seems incorrect.
Yes.
So then the reveal that, oh, it was Pandora's actor is like, okay, that makes sense. That makes all of it make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So but what did you think then? That it's the dragon using him.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Just because again, openings for Overlord seasons like to give you literally everything. They don't give you context for any of it, but they give you an overview of everything that's going to happen in this season. Here's all the characters. Here's a few battle scenes. Here's the happenstances. Let's go. So seeing this particular suit of armor in the opening and then doing the rewatch and seeing that suit of armor next to the dragon and the dragon making it very clear like, oh yeah, I used to be an adventurer once, then I took an arrow to the armor shoulder, I guess. Like he made it very clear there's a reason he doesn't. Yeah. Like he made it very clear there's a reason he doesn't do that anymore. So him coming out of retirement, as it were, is interesting. But it's not really a surprise that it was the dragon because they told you it was the dragon in season 2, and then they made it clear that he'd be showing up in the opening for this season. So again, the rewatch really helped with this. So
Sure, I forgot about it. So I thought, oh, okay. But even though it wasn't Ainz, I liked seeing that figure get to fight with this White Knight. because we haven't had a chance for Ains he hasn't had an adversary that he could actually, I have to plan now, not just annihilation.
Not since Shaltir.
Yeah. So I think that was fun to watch. I like the fake name, the Riku.
That
Aganea.
had to have been someone that the dragon knew in the past.
Yeah.
That's not just a name. Yeah, no, and especially since we got a little bit of internal monologue afterwards of him going Riku. And I'm like, oh, that was an old friend, wasn't it? That was an old friend, and you just used their name. Yeah, I find the dragon's internal monologue and weighing of things more interesting than most of the fight. Like, fight was fun, don't get me wrong. Being able to see all of the different capabilities and the chess match that it was very interesting. But Sa kind of sitting back and going, well, what if I killed this guy and I gave Ava Unit 02 to someone who's a little stronger? Because let's be real, he's not the best. They've got resurrection magic. He might out me. All right, I got to kind of figure that out. But also making it very clear that the dragon is not a player.
I was just going to ask, the way he says player is weird when he says
player and NPC. And the fact that the subtitles made it very clear that he was not, that those are terms that he was unfamiliar with. Like, that is good translation.
He's heard them, but that is good. What they are.
Yeah. But that in particular is really good localization and really good translation for the subtitles and for the translators. So, like, kudos to that team, because that's a very good, because if it had just said players, that's context that an English-speaking audience would have missed.
Yes.
And so the fact that they were able to convey via the subtitles that, hey, he's not familiar with these terms, he's repeating something that he doesn't quite have the context for himself. It's like not speaking Japanese and singing along to a J-pop song. Like, you're just going with syllables here. You don't actually know what you're saying. My high school experience. Anyway, I thought that was an incredibly well done bit. Yeah. And again, kudos to the localization and the subtitling team, because that is not easy. And those decisions were very well made and very well implemented. Loved it. But yeah, the dragon knows about players, knows about NPCs, knows about world items, knows about Yggdrasil, because in season 2, he was straight up talking to another person about Yggdrasil. Like, he has all of this information. And I'm wondering, how long has he been around? Because we got mentions of stuff like 600-800 years ago. And Ain's talking about the history of the world, the 13 heroes, the 8 greedy kings, all of them have been players. The 6 great gods, that's what it was. So, like, presumably all of them have been players from Yggdrasil. I'm wondering if it's entire guilds getting lifted and isekai'd, and Ain's being the only one left in the Ainzul Gown guild.
Maybe.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking whole guilds, whole parties got lifted. So yeah, that is that
leads us into episode 12. So do we also think that the 6 great gods are the ones with the theocracy? Yes. So we had them.
I think they established it.
Yes. Because then Ains points out, okay, I can pretty much resurrect everybody. Anybody can be resurrected. But these people never came back, so that means I might not be able to be, so I'm not going to take those risks, which makes sense and totally why take the unnecessary risk? I feel that's the main bit of everybody at the base. But then we get...
I do want to point out the Pandora's actor recounting everything and Albedo being like, do you really think he'd get on his knees? Really? Really? And Ain's pointing out,
like that.
No. And Ain's just pointing out, like, well, you did well. It throws people for a loop. It makes them underestimate you. You have nothing to lose by doing that. And now we've set a poisonous trap for the next time we meet. And also going, I'm probably going to have to take another L to that dragon to figure out more about what they can do, because that's not enough information. And everyone going, what?
You want to lose? And he's like, well, no.
Like, I don't like losing,
it's
but
it's
strategy.
strategic losing. Yes.
And we've continued to have the theme of you can learn more from a loss than you can from a win. We got that with the Lizardmen, and we've had Cocytus reinforce that theme. Like saying that victory was too easy, we didn't learn anything from it. So Cocytus is my favorite. We all know this. My boy.
Speaking of him, what did you think of Cocytus having his fight with Brain?
I've been calling it leftover brains because he put him on ice for later.
Oh, leftover brains.
It's in the icebox. It's in the refrigerator. It's fine.
Oh, man.
Because I mean, it's a great character moment for Brain, especially calling it like the ultimate nail clipper, because let's be real, running into Shaltir and then everything after that has massively altered the course of his life. So him doing the whole being a better person, etc. thing, and leaving the sword behind because he knows he's not coming back and doesn't want it to get taken is also pretty damn smart. So,
well, as a true warrior, I think he was okay with dying in battle, and he had a smile on his face. Why do you think Cocytus pretty much froze him, but the entire block around him as well? Do you think that was to like make it so people couldn't go in, or just as a?
Oh no!
I thought it's odd to do the loop.
That was respect.
Okay.
That was that was okay, we're preserving the body and then we're not trampling it. We're going around.
Okay.
That's what that was. The whole, I can't disrespect a warrior's will. Just I think that my master would approve of that. So again, I really like Cocytus. I really do.
He was good for this bit, for sure.
Really good. And this is not the last we've seen of Brain. We've talked about resurrection magic. We even mentioned it earlier in this episode.
And he's preserved right now.
He's preserved. And also just, it would be one thing to bring the body back to Nazarick and have a death knight or whatever made of it. Like, okay, cool, whatever, fine. But there is more to Brain than that. He's more than just an NPC. He's not one of those CGI soldiers up on the wall. There's something to him. And given what we saw and just given the story beats here, this isn't the end of his story. They very much set up Gazef for that to be the end of his story. He was done. He was ready to go. He didn't want to be resurrected.
No.
But we had none of that in place. And Cocytus recognizes him as someone who is of a higher level and who could be useful. And
he's like, they could bring you back. Yeah.
And we've mentioned in this show that, people, lower level, weaker people can't survive resurrection magic, but stronger people can. We got that with Tina and Gargaran, who were killed in season 2 and then brought back. So I don't think this is the last we've seen of Brain, especially since we put him in the icebox for later.
Yes.
This is leftover Brain. We're gonna come back and take care of that. So that
just sounds funny when you say it out loud.
That's why I say it, because it's funny.
It is.
He's leftover brain. We're not done with him. It might take a good long while to get back to him, but we're not done with him. Not the first time Cocytus has McMurdered someone and then been like, they're useful. Can we bring them back? Can we have them? Can we keep him? Can we keep him?
Yeah.
The 3 lizard folk, no, they were pretty great. Can we keep them? Can we bring them back? They'd be useful. Nines is like, okay, sure. Let's do that.
I was going to say, speaking of useful and then taking them away, Locuse with the Princess Renner. I thought that was very funny in a way of, well, she doesn't want to leave on her own, so we're just going to knock her out and kidnap her. Cool.
You make it sound so simple, but this was like an 18-step plan that started with an ambush.
And it was such a weird, as it happened, I thought, is this person possessed? Is someone using their body? And it's all, oh no, she's just too strong and we can't make her go on her own. So we have to literally weaken her as much as we can to physically move her away.
Yeah. We had to wait till she was out of armor, without her items. We had to surprise attack her. We had to put a paralytic in the tea. We had to
Also,
use
you know,
5
she was
different
the only one
poisons.
in like a fancy dress. Everybody else was
Yep,
still in their regular battle. Because that was also, why is she dressed like that right now? Yep.
because she always is when she goes to meet with the princess. So it's just one of those things where they had to really plan this, and that's also why they had to take Brain out of the room because he would have intervened. And it's like, Climb, we can explain things to. And
Yes.
also, Climb will not interfere if Renner tells him not to. And
Yeah.
Renner is probably, I don't think she was in on the plan, but I think she knew what was happening.
Yeah, I don't think she was in on it either, but she recognized very fast what was going on and was like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
no
Yeah.
problem. It's all good.
So that was, I thought that was pretty great. And also, I liked that because we knew that people would not survive this city. So for them going,
Yes.
we're just going to take her and go. Do you guys want to? Nope. See you in the next life. Bye.
Yep. And we're just gonna teleport, and that was smart because I don't think anybody. Though I did. What did you think of that moment though? When I think it's Brain when he's walking through the town, he makes a comment that some people weren't able to escape. That I kind of hope regular civilians, but then again, they kill people left and
They're
right
gonna
anyway.
die.
So, yep, they're gonna
They're
die.
making a point of they killed everyone in all of these outlying towns, and then
Yeah.
they might not kill everyone because Irons is still trying to do that balancing act
Mhm.
of this is the stick half of the equation with maybe not everyone needs to die. Trying to take Negretto's point of view into consideration.
Mhm.
Not an easy balancing act. And I think that's part of the reason why he's going to oversee things. And who knows, he might be the one to be like, oh, it's a brain. Back to life.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we saw in season 1, like 4 episodes in, he's got this little staff that can bring people back to life. Like lower
Mhm.
level people, etc. But he can. And
Yes.
he chooses not to use it on the massacred residents of Carne Village because it was one of those, a sorcerer who can come in and defeat people is going to cause a lot less interest than a sorcerer who can come in and bring people back to life. So we're just going to pocket that for now. And I don't see why he wouldn't still have it on him. Hammer space is a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is yeah.
I feel even though there's a lot going on, that kind of covered the main points of. If there's anything else we missed on the episode that you were like, this stood out to me, leave a comment. Let us know the other moments that were exciting for you. I like that we got more fighting and interesting strategic planning.
I'd say the 2 little things that back to back, I think we need to kind of put a pin in here and see where they go next week for the finale. The king is still here.
Oh, yes.
He made it very clear that everyone else should leave if they could, but he's going to be there to be like one of the last people of the kingdom to say, hey, you win. I'm here. Let's go. Renner with a sword terrifies me. And
right. Oh, yep.
Just one fear, and it's her. We're dealing with all of these other people, but Renner's the one where I'm like, you frighten me. Renner with a sword scares me, and she's going to go see her dad. So I'm wondering if she is going to give the sword to him, if she is going to kill him with the sword, if we're going to get the reveal of, oh no, Renner's been working with us this whole time, right before we end it. Like if the king will know that that's the case before he's killed, if she's going to do it herself. Climb's potential involvement in literally any of this. Because what would be it? I don't think Renner would sacrifice Climb's loyalty to her. No. That's a big.
That's her puppy. She wants to keep that puppy.
Yeah, that's a big fucked up sticking point for her. Is that she wants to keep Climb. So Climb can't know that she's been working with the Sorcerer Kingdom the whole time, or he can, and he just needs to get used to it.
Yes.
But I don't think she would risk that, knowing the type of person Climb is. Yeah. So if we do get a, hey, she's been working for me the whole time reveal, either it's just going to be Ainz and the king talking and Climb and Renner won't be in the room, or Climb won't be there for one reason or another, and it will be Renner in there going, yeah, that's true. That's about right. Yep. Why do you think I was trying to get us to surrender as a vassal state? We could have avoided all of this, but no.
Whoops.
Actually, no, she wanted them to be a vassal state so that the kingdom would fall into civil war and be more easily taken over.
Yay.
There's a reason she scares me.
Yes.
And that reason is all of it.
Well, we'll see how the finale wraps up as much as it can wrap up.
This.
So
yeah.
We'll see. I'm very curious.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into our last segment here of other stuff you should check out. Because obviously we recommend a lot of different things. One of the ones, so the pin in it that I like that Giga was like, yes, a pin in it for Premiere. So the thing is, I don't know if I just missed when it came out, but I recently discovered the Cyberpunk Netflix anime series.
It just dropped.
Okay. It's one of those, I'm all, did I miss the announcement? Because I saw it on there. I checked it. I haven't finished it. It's really cool. If you are a fan of Premiere, it is the same. It's Studio Trigger. And it was one of those watching. I feel like I didn't get any press release, or I don't know, didn't see anything in advance. Or maybe I missed it. It's one of those, like, maybe it just passed me by. But watching, I go, oh, this looks like the Premiere people. And then I looked, because there's some character design things that are very similar. But then look, Studio Trigger, awesome. If you, I know like nothing about the Cyberpunk game or anything like that. Just from the outskirts of what's on social media, but like never played it. But it's a very entertaining, like dystopian, cyberpunk, futuristic anime that I do really recommend. That one is really cool. I mean, we'll see how it ends. That I might, maybe if the end sucks, I'll be like, well, it's a good ride. But so far, way through, it's a very entertaining and cool looking show. It's over on Netflix.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, my association with Cyberpunk 2077 is the epilepsy issues that it had at the beginning, and the amazing trailer where someone took the trailer audio and then put in the video of like all of the glitches. So like the cars just disappearing into the stratosphere. Yeah, there's some fun stuff. Yeah, no, I hear really good things about the anime though.
So far, real good. But yes, what have you watched, reading, or seen? Because you have your special cup too.
Yeah, like I said, I spent a week in New York and we did a lot of Broadway shows. And by a lot, I mean 4, which actually is a lot for spending a week there.
For a week? Yes, it's very nice. What were the other ones?
We saw Beetlejuice, and if you have the opportunity to see Beetlejuice, guys, do it. I know it's closing on January 8th. They just announced that. It's kind of a tragedy because it just came back. But
so they're not bringing it to like Pantages or another location?
It's closing on Broadway. The touring cast is different. Touring casts are usually different from the Broadway cast. The Broadway cast tend to stick around for a good long while.
Right.
Yeah, so absolutely watch Beetlejuice if you have the chance. If you are in the area or able to go there and interested, it's so good, you guys. Soundtrack is on Spotify. Yeah, and there's all sorts of people that did animatics. There's actual releases on YouTube of some of the performances of individual numbers. So like it's a good time. Of the shows that we went to see, Beetlejuice was my favorite. Phantom of the Opera. Also closing after 35 years on Broadway, which is crazy.
Yes.
Like it never really recovered from COVID is the problem. There's a lot of people who are still not comfortable being in theaters, which again is 110% legit. Like you look out for your own safety. So I'm not going to sit here and go, well, more people should go to theaters because like, guys, you have to take the measures for your own safety. It's your comfort level. It's what keeps you healthy. So yeah.
Yes. Derek's referring to Beetlejuice.
Have fun. Let me know what your favorite number is. For no reason has been one of my favorites, but right now for some reason it's Creepy Old Guy. That's the number that's in my head. Creepy Old Guy. It's a great show. Phantom was wonderful. The current Christine is breathtaking. She's so good. We went to go see A Strange Loop. We got tickets in the literal last row of the balcony, which was buck wild. But that is I believe it is the Tony winner for Best New Musical from this past year. And it is an autobiographical musical about a guy who is an usher at the Lion King writing a musical about his life, about a guy who is an usher at the Lion King writing a musical about his life. So yeah, no, the whole being dead thing is amazing. So A Strange Loop, it was billed to me as a comedy.
Okay.
There's definitely parts of it that are really funny, but it's also one of those autobiographical things where, occasionally when it's autobiographical, the author likes to tear their heart out and leave it bleeding on the floor for the audience to take in. And this is really that.
Hmm.
It's very, very powerful.
Hmm.
And I mean, the author, and of course our main character, because it's autobiographical, big gay black guy, says it himself multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So it very much speaks to that experience. And so there will be some things where, if that's not your experience, some things will resonate, some things won't. It is an incredibly powerful look into an experience that is not your own. I can absolutely see why it won Best New Musical, because it was incredibly well put together. Because it's him, and then it's 6 other people that play all the different characters, but mostly just play his thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very well staged, very good, and again, very powerful. This is one of those shows where we watched it on Friday. I've been turning it over in my head for a few days. I need like another 2 weeks to continue turning it over in my head. It's a lot. It's a good lot, but it is a lot. So if you're going to go see that, go in prepared for that. It's not a light, fun romp like some things are. And then, speaking of light, fun romps, the last one that we saw was The Show That Goes Wrong. It is slightly metafictional. It is a play about a group of people trying to put on a play, and everything just goes straight to hell. If you've ever been to like really bad community theater, where people should know their lines, but occasionally they don't, or the set was made with the budgetary equivalent of a handful of Cheetos and the change that they found in the couch, or just things like that.
Yes.
But the play that goes wrong does that, but it's all intentional, and it is all pitch perfect. One of the characters has some of the more difficult words from their lines written on their hand, and so occasionally they'll reference their hand and then pronounce it completely incorrectly. You can see the guy who's the head of the theater company and also one of the characters in the play just slowly losing his composure and his mind as things just keep going wrong, and they try so hard to keep things on script. The actress playing the main female character has the worst time. Just so much trouble for so many reasons. It's wild. And there was a completely unscripted bit that happened in our show. The fourth wall in this show is a little permeable. At the beginning, they do try to get audience members to help them like finish setting up the set and whatnot. It's actually, the pre-show is amazing. But halfway through the show, there's a prop that got moved somewhere it wasn't supposed to be. And, one of the people is looking for it. And someone in the audience goes, "It's under the chair." It's like, this is not scripted, but it does feel a little bit like, okay, the fourth wall has some holes in it. You maybe got the wrong prompt from that. And God bless this guy. Immediately just looks up. This isn't The Price is Right. There's no audience participation here. Just goes off to the point where it sounded like it was scripted. It might have been rehearsed in case someone said something.
Yeah.
But I think the best bit was, go down and see Kinky Boots. They love that stuff here. Kinky Boots was off Broadway, a few blocks away. So just watching this guy hear this audience prompt just completely lose his mind for about 35 seconds and then get right back into character and look under the chair. The ledger! It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. This show is so good. And we got half price tickets from the Today ticket booth. So like,
that's a smart way to go. Tickets for tonight, tickets for today. Yep.
And then the Today Tix app, like, those are your friends.
Smart.
Beetlejuice were the ones where we bought full price months in advance, picked our seats, everything. The other 3 shows, hey, what's in the half price app? Let's go.
Yeah.
It's wild to see 4 Broadway shows on a budget. But if you don't care where you're sitting, then it's a little easier. So yeah, if you are able to go to New York, if you are feel safe being out in public, etc., feel safe being in a theater, all of those shows were amazing for different reasons. All of them are
Mm-hmm.
absolutely well worth watching. And there were a number of shows where we just didn't have enough nights in the week to be able to do everything we wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yes, and less New York centric things. On the plane, I finally managed to watch The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which is the movie in which Nick Cage plays Nick Cage. It is a lot more clever and meta than I thought it was going to be. And it's sometimes when stuff is meta, it's just like, okay, we know you're clever. You put a lampshade on it, move on with it. This was meta in a way that I wasn't really expecting. And it actually fed into the movie extremely well. So I had a lot of fun with it. It's a wild little movie, but it's really well done. And you can tell that Nick Cage was absolutely here for it. Like, he's having a blast. Everyone in this movie is having a blast. And I recommend it. Like, it's a very good time. And then, yeah, last thing is Parallel World Pharmacy ended. And I don't know if that is the ending of the show or just the ending of the season.
Hmm.
And my fun little pastoral fantasy anime, I'm realizing the ones that I pick tend to be pretty solid throughout. And then the endings, I'm just kind of like, well, that happened. So
There's a
this was
lot of
one of those
anime
where
that does
like
that, where it's a really good ride,
yeah,
and the end
yeah,
goes,
yeah.
okay, well,
So
yeah.
this was one of those where like it built and built and built, and then the last episode was like, okay, so that's cool, I guess. And also there's something heartrending about watching something in the year of our Lord 2022, also known as year 3 of COVID, watching a plot point be we are facing down a plague. We need to
Mm,
take steps to mitigate things and keep each
mm,
other healthy. And then watching
mm.
people like actually act with the best interest of the public in mind and do it. Like, ah, there's there's
Yes.
something again, even with just the premise of this anime, of this guy going, yeah, no, we should totally do healthcare for all that's affordable. And me watching this as an American dealing with privatized healthcare going, all right, that already hit me where I lived. And then we have a plague plot. I'm like, okay. And people are like actually wearing masks. These are people who have never seen like medical face masks before. And when presented with one and told why they should wear it, they just do. Like, what? People do that? So yeah, fun
Yeah.
anime. Really did enjoy it. Really want to know more about like more of the stuff that's going on in this world. Hoping
Mm-hmm.
that we get a season 2 at some point. But I was not expecting it to hit me where I lived multiple times in quick succession.
Yeah.
And it really did. So like it's a good time. If that's your
Uh,
jam, you should watch it. But also be prepared to have some feelings about parallels to things in the real world. Yeah, it's a lot.
I actually remembered. I'm like, wait, 2 last quick things I watched. I'm like, oh wait,
Yeah, yeah.
and shout out. One, I was at the Chicago South Asian Film Festival, saw lots of cool films, met a lot of good filmmakers. Stay tuned on social media. I'm slowly posting those because it's one of those living in the moment, but wanting to document it. So it's like I'll be posting more later.
Yeah.
But the other thing too, speaking of theater, if you are in the Chicago area, I saw a really cool production of Sweeney Todd, Demon Barber of Fleet Street. That's at
Yes.
the Chopin Theater downstairs. So that one was a cool venue. If you went downstairs, kind of black boxy idea where it was in the round. The center stage had like no props really. They brought in chairs as a momentary prop, but the area where you were seated was very decorated, and they had like a mirror and things set up. They liked mirrors and frames, and it's just really cool production and very creative on how they did gore, because don't want to have to clean it up after. And I just felt that cast was very talented, amazing singers, and yeah, it was just one of those, like, I didn't know what to expect. My friend's like, we got tickets. Well, sounds great. I like that story. It's great in time for spooky season. And yeah, so if you're in Chicago area, there's a Sweeney Todd production that's really cool that you should check out.
Sweeney Todd in the Round sounds amazing.
It was pretty exciting. We got really lucky with where we
God.
sat because you could pick wherever you wanted. And I was telling my friends after, and we all felt we picked the right side. Because I mean, every side is you're going to get something good, but I felt like where we sat, we got most everything that we got to see, the smaller gestures or something else. And so, but yes, the idea of in the round and them getting close and like walking around, and because they went in the audience a little bit too, so that was exciting.
That's fun. That is fun.
Especially for that one, because it is the, oh gosh, you are in peril, possibly. So, yeah.
Like, it's like being in the splash zone for Evil Dead, the musical.
Exactly,
like, oh, friends.
A little bit.
Evidently, there's going to be a Broadway revival of Sweeney Todd, and Josh Groban is going to be in it. I think I saw those advertisements all over the subway. So it's like, I think I'm remembering this correctly. That strikes me as a little weird.
Yeah.
But like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a wild one. But that just Sweeney Todd in the Round sounds phenomenal.
Very exciting. It was nice to have a small theater because it felt really intimate.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's a terrifying show to be feeling intimate for. It's just like, oh, okay, put the razor away. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we had a super jam-packed episode today because we didn't have an episode last week, so we're excited to be back to give you all of the news and anime announcements and other cool stuff you should check out. And then stay tuned because next week will definitely be jam-packed because as we were saying, it's a new show new season coming back, half season coming back, and a season wrapping. So
we will be talking about My Hero Academia Season 6, Spy Family, the latter half of Season 1, and the final episode of this season of Overlord. So it's going to be a lot next week. So, some good jumping on points for people. Yeah. It'll be fun. Tell your friends.
Round of applause.
Yes.
And then real quick, look at the chat. Yes. Get all the great content. Yes, we got lots of exciting stuff in store.
Everything is content.
Yes.
Everything is content.
Thank you so much for joining us Nighttime at the Nerd Bar. Katie, where can people find you online?
You can follow me all over the social medias as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. That YouTube channel is all sorts of reaction videos and whatnot. We have been doing discussions for Ruby Ice Queendom. So if you want to see some discussion about that anime, that's over there. I am also half of Silver Screams, which is another YouTube channel that covers horror things, and we are getting into that season, friends. So yeah, there's I think the newest thing is we talked about Nope for a bit. We haven't recorded because we've been in New York, but those are always some fun ones to go through, and the reaction video archives are always just a scream. Let's be real. They're fun.
The scream on Silver Screams.
Scream, yeah. I mean, if you I think Scream 5 or just Scream 2022, because I guess that's what we're doing now, is now available I think it's available to like watch, own, etc. So if you have seen the latest Scream, if you haven't seen the latest Scream and you're fond of slashers, you need to watch it. It's amazing. If you have seen it, we have a big long discussion video about it on there as well, because we really like Scream. It's a great franchise. And so we went a little nuts when the movie came out because it was really good, as it turns out. Like, really good.
Yes. And y'all can find me online. There we go. I was like, yes, I got the right side. Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE on all the social media platforms. There's lots I've posted, and there's going to be a lot more coming. And stay tuned because there's events coming up that we may be attending and such. So stay tuned on all of that. Make sure to subscribe to the channel here. Give the video a thumbs up. And thank you again so much for watching.
Before we sign off, I want to do one little thing, because it's going to be October the next time we see all these lovely human beings.
Indeed.
So I want to know, just a handful, 2 or 3, 5 if you're a top 5 person, horror movies or spoopy movies that you think our audience should watch for October. Just because we're going to be a few. Yeah, just off the top of your head. What do you like? What do you think they should watch?
Trick or Treat is I think we did an announcement that's getting a theatrical. Oh, it was another show I'm on. I was like, wait, we didn't talk about it here. Trick or Treat is getting a theatrical release. That movie is amazing.
Nice.
It never had a theatrical release. It went straight to DVD, which I was like, I didn't even remember that, but I just remember seeing it. It's really good. Pontypool. It's a very unique take on zombies.
Yeah.
It's a zombie movie without really many zombies, but you'll understand what I mean when you watch it. I'm like, what else is something cool that I'm like, I like always suggesting things that people haven't seen or heard of.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with suggesting the classics. If you think they should watch Halloween, tell them they should watch Halloween. There's always someone out there who hasn't seen it yet, you know?
This is true. Well, hold on.
Do you want me to do mine so you can have a
Go
few
for
minutes?
it, yes.
I put you on the spot.
Yes.
Scream. Watch the OG Scream. Came out in the 90s. Really great send-up of the slasher genre. If you want to watch all of them, that's great. But, like, you got to watch the OG. It's super fun. Willy's Wonderland. Haunted animatronics.
That was very good.
But also Nick Cage playing a silent janitor who then beats up haunted animatronics. It's the parody of the Five Nights at Freddy's film that we never got. Not a perfect film, but a very, very fun one. Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yes.
Amazing horror comedy.
Yes.
My favorite example of wrong genre savvy. Very, very fun to watch. What else have we got? I know there's horror movies. How about Malignant? You just gotta watch Malignant, you guys. I know we've talked about it a lot when we were covering Demon Slayer. It's gory and it's extremely wild. So if you want some super buck wild shit, you gotta watch Malignant. And Nightmare Before Christmas. Just put a classic on there. Just if you... I don't want to sit here and be like, everyone has seen it at this point, because I didn't watch it till I was like a freshman in high school. Took me a while. No, I didn't watch it till I was a senior in high school. Took me a while. But it's a fun, sweet little classic for a reason. If you haven't seen it, maybe give it a shot. If you have seen it, maybe it's time to watch it again.
Yes. Summer of '84. It's a independent film, same people who did Turbo Kid. And they have a really fun style. And it's a, it's just a really good one. I think it's finally available on streaming services now. So Summer of '84, really good. Like kids going missing, serial killer, but it's really well done. One that I don't know where you'd watch it now, but it's called A Chinese Ghost Story. And it's a tax collector who ends up at a haunted house to get out of the rain and meets all the ghosts there and maybe falls in love with one. But it's spooky, it's funny, and has action and also a romance. So that's a good one. Classic, really old. It's from it looks old. It's one of those, I think it's only the 80s, but it looks old and
stylized.
But it's perfectly entertaining. Yes. All right.
You got one more to round out the 5? Or are we good?
I think that was 5 because I said Trick or Treat.
Pontypool,
Summer of '84, and then
Chinese Ghost Story.
Oh, okay. And then I thought I had a 5th one.
I mean, I recommended Nightmare Before Christmas.
I know.
Live your dream.
It's the more I think about it, the harder I'm like, wait. Oh, well, speaking of a Nicolas Cage weird one and something super different, Mandy, I liked it. It is bonkers, but it is a wild ride, and
I feel like between Mandy and Malignant, we've put some absolutely buck wild stuff on people's watch lists. It's like, okay, traditional horror comedy, that really, really weird shit that is just completely bonkers from minute 1 to minute end.
Yep.
And then a classic.
Sometimes those are, it's nice to throw those in the mix. Yeah.
Yeah. Go nuts.
Yes. Yeah. Well, again, thank you, everybody. Right. Check out those recommendations. I think I'll plan for next time. We'll do another one where it's more specifically, and I'll recommend anime horror too. Maybe they'll have more time to plan out my list. But thank you for the suggestion. It's great to offer everybody suggestion going to spooky season. Thank you, everybody, again for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
It will be spoopy next week.